Good morning, Flosstube. Bam, stitching between the lines. Today is Sunday, June 2nd, 2024, and this is Flosstube number 138. So, glancing at my book of days, I see that in May, I didn't manage to get a video in May. I didn't get 138, my May recap, done in May. The last 3 days of May, last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we had the windows replaced in our house. So that was chaotic, and very fortunately, the baby was not disturbed by the noise. She kind of didn't like it if all of a sudden there was noise when she was awake, but it didn't wake her up, thank heavens, because yeah, that's a lot of noise. And people coming in and out of the house and that sort of thing. So that's all done. Windows are all in, and that makes us happy because the other ones were unbelievably crappy. So, anywho, May. So, May was an interesting month. It was a long month. May was long. What makes it long other than it's 31 days? It encompasses 5 weeks of time. It spans over 5 weeks. That just felt like forever. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if I can, even though it's a long month, we'll see if I can babble enough to fill a whole half hour here, because I'm not entirely sure I can. So what did I do in May since we last met? This was a little tiny bit of shopping from April that was buried under my April pile, and so I didn't get to recap this at all. But let's do it. It's in front of me. Let's do it upside down. See what I purchased. Usually people save those for the end, but I'm not. Whatever. This will be, a sign of how things are going to go. So I was trolling around on Etsy one morning, and I ran across an Etsy store in South Korea that had a pattern that, once you see it, you can't unsee it, and I needed to have it, and so I ordered it. The pattern was this, seasonal bouquets, and it has a variety of patterns in here, but it's the sort of study in blues, maybe, blues and yellows, you might call it, and it's just beautiful. Remember I said in the beginning of the year, I think I needed to do some more spring things? I'm pretty sure this is a spring themed. On the back cover is a fall one, which I'm not a huge fan of. I generally like fall, but those fall things don't do anything for me. Although I really like these. Horse chestnuts, isn't that what they're called? I always liked those. I always thought they were so cool. I can remember walking to school when I was in kindergarten, and I walked under one of those trees, and these would be dropped on the ground, and they would stain your fingers as you tried to pull them open and get this thing out. So that was falls. Technically seasonal. Let's see if they really have names. Summer. Okay. So this one is summer. It's very pretty. Bluebirds. Who doesn't like bluebirds? They're so elusive. So that's pretty. And this one is, sorry, I have to look. I'm open to the page with the pictures, and it's not necessarily the pattern, so I don't have the name. So I'm flipping and looking for the name of this one. Oh, Winter. This one's called Winter, which you will see soon. Doesn't really scream winter. We certainly don't have a fruit that comes out in the winter. Not in upstate New York. But it's pretty. I mean, in the pinks and greens kind of way, but this does not scream winter. But I believe those are the 4 patterns in there, what I showed you on the front and the back, and those 2 in the middle. And, I love a Marjorie Baston. Even though I haven't stitched anything, I apparently collect the patterns. I have that enormous, and literally it is enormous pattern. I bought it as a kit. I know it's got the fabric. It's got the 4 seasons, 1 in each corner and something in the center. Brenda of Handwork Maniac is doing it, and I think where I really saw it was Pam of Just Keep Stitching, I'm pretty sure. I haven't started it yet. I've gotten it out a couple times and looked at it. It is enormous. And then I've purchased some other Marjorie Baston patterns that are so pretty. But anyway, I found this on this Etsy shop in South Korea. So I put it in my cart. And if you're going to order something, and maybe I had to get it up a little bit to get the free shipping, I don't really remember. I found these 2 magazines, which I think these are French. Yeah. Oh, they're so beautiful. If you've ever had the opportunity to see one of these magazines, they are beautiful. Beautiful. I like anything and everything nautical. Let me see if there's anything here that just pops right out that I have to show you. That wasn't on the cover already. Oh, I like that. Let me see if I can. I like these alphabets. They're so very like mid-century modern. Aren't they cute? I don't know that the whole alphabet is in here. I see 4 letters. So it could be you had to keep getting the magazine to get more letters. I'm going to believe that's true because there's 4 letters in here. And then because the only thing I like more than nautical is Christmas, I bought this one. Pretty, 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 pretty. Excuse me while I look and see if there's anything I have to show you. Real quick. That wasn't on the front cover. No, I think so. If I happen upon anything that I can't resist and I actually start to stitch it, then we'll revisit. This is pretty and wasn't on the front cover. The 25th of December, Merry Christmas. So, I put the pattern, the Marjolaine Baston in my cart and these 2 magazines and then sent in my order. And what do I get back? But a message from the seller that says they didn't have this anymore. It was her mistake for putting it on there. So, you know, I would have lived without the patterns or the magazines, but now I'm obsessed. I was obsessed, I believe, already when I went and found this. So that led to much disappointment and eBay watching. I put, you know, a save search on eBay. And it came up after a while, after perusing all things Marjolaine Baston for a while. It came up and it was in a bundle of 3 and very reasonably priced. I didn't pay, I don't think I even paid $20 for this whole thing. So while this might be out of print, it wasn't, you know, overly priced. If it was a little more than $20 for these 3, certainly worth it. This is the other one that came in there. I love a good bird feeder. Do I have this one? Maybe. I don't know. Because I don't organize my charts in that way. And this one, again, love a birdhouse, bird things, some flowers. So they're all good. So that worked to my advantage. That I did find it and got some magazines I really didn't intend to shop for. So yeah, that was, like I said, a little bit disappointing that I don't find myself ever ordering anything on Etsy that is not available. Like the inventory, I don't know. Things happen. I get it. Things happen, but still. Somebody who does Etsy will tell me that there's not good inventory. They don't, that Etsy doesn't keep good inventory or something. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I purchased. I have a purchase coming like tomorrow. I wish I could show you. Darn it, you have to come back at the end of the month or 1st of July. Sorry. All right, so in the month of May, long month of May, I had a finish, I had a start, and I worked on a whip. So, one of each. I still have 12 whips because that's a net zero. When I came in the month with 12, I'm leaving the month with 12. But I'm happy to have finished something. I'm happy to have made good progress on another wee little thing. I'd have to move all the pens off my desk here. We don't need to be marking anything. So the thing that was a whip, the piece that was a whip was my Barbara Anna Hocus Pocus. Which, when I started the month of May, the only thing that was done was that cauldron. I started that, I don't know when, a while back. And there's still a needle and thread in here because I was working on it last night. find a little something to put behind it. I could finish this with one more good stitching session. There's one more of these things to do. The witch has some hair that's flowing. There's a few odds and ends around in the picture. The house I need to finish, but I really think I have the bulk of it done. Oh, these things are started. I need to finish those. The cat is 1/1, so I'm not looking forward to that, but it is kind of tiny. It's liable to end up being like 10 stitch. This thing. Any of the little bits that are around this funky plant I need to do, I think. So, oops. Putting that aside, but pulling this back up. What do I want to say about this? I believe it's on a piece of white even weave, and I'm going to guess it's 32 count because 2 strands of floss is a little bit thick, which will work to my advantage when I do that 1/1 cat, because I can do 10 stitch, half stitch. So that's my whip that I intend 100% to finish in the next couple days. And let's see, my finish was my focus for the month of May, which was Winter Cheers by Twin Peak Primitives. I have talked about this for the last couple months, how much I love this piece. Loved it, loved stitching it. I bought it from the Twin Peak Primitives limited editions, oh dear, sorry. Limited edition, yeah. They've moved back and forth between, I think, an Etsy shop and an online shop. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's an Etsy shop now. And last month I told you how it was a popular pattern and the designers had some requests to re-release it. So they had, I don't know, I think it was a limited pattern only, but it's just DMC floss. And the fabric is a fabric flare fabric called, it came in the kit. I don't know that it would have been my choice. My office is in a little bit of disarray still from the window job, because the windows are, the desks, we have 2 desks, are pushed up against the window. So they all had to be snuggled together and pushed in the corner. And it just, you know, a little bit of havoc. It's on a piece of fabric flare, 32 count stone. Oops, sorry. So I did it with 1 strand because it's 32 count. You know, that's sort of the in-between count where you don't know whether you should use 1 or 2. At first I thought it was a little too airy, you know, a little too, but it worked out, I think. But here's the thing, this fabric is quite different from what's pictured, which is sort of like an antique-y, I don't want to call it brown, tan, something. So, I mean, I used everything they sent, but the white of the snowflakes, and I see it on the screen. I can't find it in real life. That's how hard it is to see these things. There's a cat hair on there. Right there. Ugh, let's go over it with the roller. The white really doesn't show up. Like the dog, look at the dog. He's kind of hard to see. Now, if you haven't stitched this yet, oh, it's still a needle and thread. There's a quirky, weird thing in it. I think it's quirky and weird. On every other one of these border things, the stem has 2 stitches. So that's not what's weird. The weird part is that it's a different color. Can you tell that those 2 stitches are a different color? No, I don't think so. So why am I, like, I did a whole big chunk of it and then went to do that single stitch on each one, and it's like, it doesn't even, you can't even tell. So I don't know why I was doing that. And again, the white didn't really stand out. Again, the cat hair, you know, Cooper's in all my business, so. But it's so cute. It is so cute and such an easy stitch. a fun stitch. Look at that snowman. Like I said, DMC floss, and like this orange, you get 3 stitches out of it. So before you go out and buy all new things for whatever's called for, consider a few things like orange. Pick an orange in your stash. If you happen not to have it, pick something. So that was my finish. Very happy with that. That was a fun thing to stitch. And then my start was, I got for Mother's Day. My son and daughter-in-law got me this pattern for Mother's Day, Halloween night, Madame LaFay. You know, I love her patterns. They're not for wimps, though. They might look like they are, but they're not. I bobbinated 2 of the threads so far, but this is all the threads that go in it. And I just gave it a quick start, and I did the 2 bats. They happen to occur in the center. So let me pull her up again. So I think this, somewhere in this bat was a center. And you know, I usually try to avoid doing bats, but I didn't. I just did them. Now they're done. There's 2 more up here, but it's so cute. This will be the next thing I do, I think. This layout lends itself to working like in the center box. That's huge, but then it's just little quadrants of things. Top being the huge part. What's the border look like? Oh, the border looks like pretty chunky. I'm doing it on a piece of Mushroom MCG Textiles, which I bought 3 packages of somebody's stash unloading, because you know I like my MCG Textiles. I know people didn't. It fell out of favor in a big way, and it's not carried anymore. I don't know who makes it. But I have a little bit of it, and it just has such a nice feel, and it's so supple when you stitch on it. Who made this? I heard it said once who the manufacturer was. Somebody that you recognize, like DMC? I don't know. Don't quote me on that, because I don't know. But I'm just saying it was somebody like that kind of common name to us stitchers. So I gave that a start. So that's what made me have a net 0 of my whip list. So that rounded out my May of stitching. Doesn't seem like a lot, but I stitched a lot. I feel like nap time. I'll be the nap time stitcher. Although there were entire days when I didn't stitch at all. I don't even remember all the things that happened. We did go on a little getaway, long weekend over Memorial Day, my husband and I wanted to go somewhere sunny and warm, and I said I wanted it to be 1 plane ride, and that was it. Well, you can't go anywhere from where I live in 1 plane ride unless you want to go to somewhere not sunny and warm. To like, you have to go to like a major hub. So you can go to like Detroit, or I'm not even gonna say Chicago anymore, because I think it was Delta that used to, don't nobody quote me, but we used to fly in and out of Chicago every time we turned around. But now like Delta goes in and out of Detroit, which is nice. It's a nice airport, but counterproductive generally to where we're going. So anywho, we ended up on 2 flights, 2 small, like the smaller plane that were like not even an hour. One of them was not even an hour. The other one was maybe an hour and 15 minutes. But I don't know, anybody in the United States watch the news over Memorial Day? There was bad weather in Atlanta, and whenever there's bad weather in Atlanta, the whole airline system crashes. Not literally, but we weren't even at the airport for our return flight when our second flight had been canceled. So they didn't even have time. It was just, we were flying into New York City, and that airport just couldn't handle. They also had bad weather coming, so they just knew they couldn't handle, so they just started canceling flights. It wasn't even about where that plane was, because it was, you know. So that was an adventure. That is the very, very short version of finding out our flight was canceled. And who didn't tell us things as we were, you know, checking our bags, did not tell us. After I told them where we were going and the airports we were going through, they never told us, never said, oh, by the way, you're rerouted to Detroit and your flight home is the next day. So, and they bumped us off our flight and gave our seats away, according to the gate agent. So we had to see an important person who could give us our seats back so we could at least get to New York, because from New York City we could drive home. Detroit, not so much. So we got ourselves to New York City a few hours late, sat on the tarmac for a couple hours, which, you know, is a lot of fun. Did that at the outset of our flight, and got to New York City in the pouring rain. My husband, very fortunately, I thank God we are some amount travel savvy, had reserved a couple rental cars because he knew they won't keep it for us. So if we got in at our regular time, there'd be a car for us. When it started to look like it was going to be later and later, he reserved another car. And then we had another car. And so we ended up getting it in time to get the middle car that we reserved, and took the shuttle in the pouring down rain over to the car rental, got in our car. Other people that were on our shuttle couldn't get cars because they didn't know to do that, to reserve a car at the minute they knew they needed one. And we drove home. So, and our luggage came home because it was already checked in, and, you know, the one gate agent rerouted our luggage, not to Detroit, but I don't know. It may still have gone to Detroit because it didn't get in till the next morning. That could very well be true. I didn't think of that. We know it's a whole thing. So anyway, we're just glad to be home. You know, all these things keep wanting to cure us of ever wanting to go to the airport again. So it's like, think twice, think twice, think twice. Do you really want to go have some sunshine and seafood? We did. I did. I didn't know it was going to end up like that. So anyway, got away for a few days. And let's see, school. I have the baby till school's out. And school in New York is not out till the last week of June. So yeah, it's a long, school year is long. Although, like, Florida graduated in May. They start a whole entire month before us, so I don't want to start, like, school starts the first week of August. I don't want that either. So I have her until the very end of June, and then a couple days after she's, my daughter's off for the summer, we have a wedding to travel to, so we will do that, and that will round out June. So there's that. But in June, let's talk stitching. So, okay. So the window job, you know, was going on. And so we had to, like, condense my office way down to give them room to get around. And I took home a whole bin of sewing stuff. I was home yesterday. We had to go to a funeral. And so anyway, I was home. And I saw that bin sitting on the floor in my sewing area. And I thought, why did I bring that home? I must have left stuff. I must not have brought everything home. There must still be some stuff in the office. No, there's not. So after I finish up Hocus Pocus, I don't have another small secondary pattern to work on. You know, I always work on a major thing and have a minor thing, a secondary project. So I currently don't have any of those because I took them all home. I was going to show you what one was in my mind to work on, but too late. I am going home tomorrow for some things, so I'll get something back. But I wasn't waiting to make a video. So let's just pull out what I worked on as a start in April. Pretty sure I had this done for you in April, right? This isn't new to see this far along. If it is, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Here it is. It is going to be my June focus because I hated to put it away, but I knew I wanted to finish Winter Cheers. So this is Jan Lynn, Sandy Orton's Summer Sampler. I cannot wait to work on it. Somebody else is working on it or showed their done version. I don't know. And I was like, I cannot wait to get back to this. This is where I'm going next, over here. After that, I don't know. Probably up. I don't know. Let's see which way the wind blows me. I work in hand, so I do try to work. I hold it on this side. I roll it up. I center starter. And then I try to go where I'm where I don't have to hold my stitching. So I go up, I go down, I go up, I go down. So we'll see how this plays out. It's so cute. I can't even tell you how glad I am I started this. It's just so pretty. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm going to work on that today. It's Sunday. It's supposed to be a rainy day. Yesterday was gorgeous out, so I hardly got any stitching done. But today I think I will. I need to go to the grocery store. I heard the washer do its little I'm done dance in there. And what else? There's nothing else around my desk. And I almost filled a half hour. I'm not reading any books I want to talk about. I am bored to tears with books. I kind of don't have the attention span right now. I'm up early, but it's not like the kind of early where I can read at my leisure. And then by nighttime, I'm tired. So I fall asleep. That's it. Is that my life in a nutshell? In less than 30 minutes? Pretty much. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So I hope everybody's starting, if you live in the United States, especially in the northern part, starting to enjoy some summer. It's been a rainy spring, which I'm not complaining about because nobody likes a drought come August. So we should have some good water levels. Yeah, that's it. I don't even know what else to say. So I hope everybody's enjoying themselves, getting lots of stitching done and finding lots of good Flosstube to watch. And yeah, all the things. Till next time. Bye.